Hey, so glad that you're here. Hope you're having a great day, a blessed day, and getting 1% better than yesterday, and breaking free from anything that's holding you back, from becoming the best version of yourself, and from having the best day ever. And there's no reason why we can't do both. There's no reason why we can't do both every day. We can set up that kind of life. That's the life that I want to live. It's the life that I want to inspire other people to live. And I'm so glad that you're joining me on the process. Got some things we can talk about today to get 1% better. I want to talk a little bit about overthinking. I want to talk a little bit about financial independence and financial freedom. I want to talk about the book Atomic Habits and 5 takeaways from that book, and there is many. I would highly suggest picking up that book. It's a game changer. Probably one of the best books on personal development ever made, and I look forward to talking a little bit about that. Before I do get into those topics and hopefully more, I want to recap last week's side hustle report. I did $395 in the gig economy with Instacart shopping and deliveries and through Walmart Spark delivery. I did push it. Like I've talked about a few times on the show, shifts are down, so I'm having to work more during the day. I'm finding that right balance. I'm finding the happiness in that unconventional lifestyle, thinking outside of the box, and it seems to be working out. This week I am going to have 4 nights of waiting tables, so it takes a little bit of the pressure off. I didn't go crazy today with deliveries. I made like $22. Had an eye appointment this morning, doing stuff around the house, just enjoying my day off. So that is good. But I'll get right into the topics for today. The first is I want to talk about overthinking, and I kind of want to relate it a little bit to finding peace with overthinking, finding a solution to overthinking through the Bible, through Scripture. And that is one resource to turn to, maybe probably the first resource to turn to. There's other resources too, like meditation, like philosophy. And I think even the benefits of financial freedom that we're going to talk about next and the benefits from Atomic Habits, I think all of these are going to tie in together and just help you on your journey towards freedom. And overthinking is one of those things. A little bit yesterday, a little slight overthinking, not much at all. It's nice to have these tools when that sort of thing comes up. I mean, we're all practicing, we're all doing what we got to do, but we're also not monks. We're also human, and it's a practice every day. So, overthinking, it's not that you don't want to be thoughtful, of course, and but when your thoughts become harmful, when they become obsessive about your relationships, about work, about your plans, if they're keeping you up at night and making you tired during the day, if they're stressing you out where you lose your appetite or you're eating too much, where you need to rely on booze to numb those thoughts, where you need to have a cig because you're anxious and you're overthinking it, what could have been, what should have been, what might be. There's ways around, there's ways to break free from overthinking, and with practice that is definitely possible, and it feels so good. So I encourage you guys to think about these 2 verses that jumped out to me. The first is from Psalm 6. It says, "My soul is in deep anguish, and I'm worn out by my groaning." So soul's hurt, just worn out from the groaning, very tired, can't take it anymore. "But the Lord has heard my cry for mercy. The Lord accepts my prayer." I like that the Bible also says to put your energy that you're putting into the worry, to the overthinking, to the constant thought loops, put that energy into prayer, put that energy into action. The Lord hears your prayer. We can be at peace with that. Have faith. We all don't know what's going to happen. And what we want to happen might not always be the best thing, because we can't see that happening in real time. So take some time. Don't wear yourself out with overthinking. Pray to the Lord and He can hear your prayer. Put those excess thoughts on Him. And finally, Philippians 4:8-9. I really love this. It encourages you. It says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things, and the God of peace will be with you." Think about all the good things. I like from the book, The Magic of Thinking Big. There's a teller in our head, Mr. Positive or Mr. Negative, and what are we going to deposit in there? And only positive things, only looking at the good things. Don't let anything bad in. If it does, acknowledge it and move on and just keep filtering the good stuff in. Focus on the right things, the pure things. See the world through the eyes of a child. Focus on lovely things like the flowers blooming this spring. Focus on what is admirable, the effort that you're putting in. Anything excellent or praiseworthy, you're doing your best. What is noble, what is true. Love, peace, understanding. Think about those things. Leave the negative things out. Be thoughtful, but don't obsess on it. Focus on the positive, and the God of peace will be with you. And leading into the next topic of the benefits of financial independence, financial freedom. I came up with 7. There's got to be, I want to say there's 700. I mean, it's been absolutely life-changing. And I don't talk about it too much on this channel, even though it was probably the basis for a lot of my change, if not all of it. Completely, this idea even completely changed my life. I never even knew something like this was possible. And I don't talk about it a lot because I probably won't reach it. I think the true definition of financial independence, there's a theory out there that says have 25 times your annual expenses in the bank, and then there's some sort you can live off your interest. I don't think I'm going to get there, but I've made massive progress, and I'm working to set up a retirement with dignity and hopefully stress-free. And it's the benefits on the way, even when you're in debt, when you're $100,000 or $1,000 in debt or more. You start on the path of financial independence, and all these benefits start making themselves much more clear to you. And it's hard to see 2 years down the line, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, but in that time period, from day one, the benefits are just huge. And to go into these 7 topics, I wanted to talk about one more verse of scripture. It's Proverbs 10:22. It says, "The blessings of the Lord make me rich, and he addeth no sorrow to it." So it's not the money. It's not about the money. I guess it can be if you're making a lot of money, and you can get to that magical number, I think, quicker. But it's the blessings in our lives that make us rich. It's our friends. It's our family. It's the opportunities that we have, the health that we have. Money is not the be-all, end-all. But money can be used as a tool to make our lives a little bit more stress-free. And I think that he added, there's no sorrow with it. So once I started on this path, a lot of my sorrows just started to disappear. I'm doing this as a waiter, who, as you guys know, I'm working, 3 days a week, sometimes 4 or 5. Even back 4 or 5 years ago, it was tough to get a full slate of work. We either have too much, not enough, so there's hard to find that in between. But the first benefit of pursuing financial independence is that you prepare for contingencies. You're prepared for emergencies, sickness, injury, job loss, car troubles, to help out your other family members if they need it. These are all things I've had to face on my financial independence journey, and they have all been taken care of in kind of a stress-free way. We've had some car issues, some decent ones. We can pay for them. It sucks, but you move on. Job loss, that hangs over my head every day. But I'm the kind of person who can deal with that because I've thought outside of the box. I've put myself in this position because I know that one day will come. Sickness and injury, I've been out a month before with an operation on my left foot. You're able to help out your family members, your parents. We've been able to do that all because we are pursuing financial independence. We're pursuing financial freedom. Maybe financial freedom is when you are debt-free. You might not be independent. You still have to work a little bit, but at least it's yours to mostly choose what you want to do with. Number 2, financial security. It's going to help with a stress-free life. You're less And it's kind of funny seeing you here again. It might be a little psycho, but I know how long it's been. And I guess that we both knew this day would come. We toasted our glasses and set them down like the sun. Dependent on one job. Usually in the benefits of financial independence, you're kind of out there side hustling, have multiple streams of income. It's going to lower the stress of your life dramatically, and it certainly has to mine. Number 3 benefit is early retirement. It's probably not for me, maybe not for most people, but it is a possibility for some, especially if you learn this when you're in your 20s, early 20s. I could only imagine. But for me, and for a lot of people, they don't even like to talk about it. It's called like the FIRE movement, F-I-R-E, financial independence, retire early. And a lot of people leave the R-E off because it's not necessarily about that. It's not about sitting on the beach. It's about doing what you want to do, what's meaningful to you, not necessarily for the money, but because you actually enjoy doing it. What is the definition of success in this country, I think, needs to be changed. It's not about having the most money or being the busiest or the flashiest cars or the biggest trips. It's about waking up in a good mood. There's a lot of people out there with a lot more money than me and you who are miserable and broken. And, it can lead a nice middle-class life and go to your kids' soccer games and play video games and have evenings off with your family and Sundays, and that's fine. And if you want to be an entrepreneur and grow your wealth even more, that's fine too, as long as you're in a good mood. It's not a race, it's not a competition. We can be happy for everyone. But that is a benefit of it. Number 4, this is one of the big ones for me, freedom to choose. And of course, underline the word freedom. Choose your property. You're going to have more choices. The city that you live in, you're going to have more choices. Travel, you're going to have more choices. New hobby, new business. You can donate to what you want to do. You can resign from a job if that job is not what you want to do. You're just less dependent. You're more free to do all those things. And for me, I'm pretty attached to this city. We do a little bit of travel and I want to travel more. My hobbies are somewhat frugal. We can donate, which feels good. And there was a point when I was ready to step away from my job and that issue had been resolved. And life is good because that's exactly what I want to do and exactly where I want to be and who I want to work for. But that opportunity is there, and everyone might not be as fortunate as I was in that situation. So having that position of strength and those options are absolutely huge. Number 5, benefit of financial freedom. It's going to make for a more stress-free life. You're going to minimize your expenses. You're going to plan your investments. You're not going to have to worry about work having to necessarily meet your needs. The stress and worry are not going to be as prevalent as, oh my God, I got to make this. I got to do this today. I got this. I got to pay the bills. And, I see people doing the side hustles that I'm doing who are, a little spazzy or stressed or triggered. And I'm out there just strolling along. And yeah, I got to make some money, but the worry and stress aren't necessarily there for me because my cost of living is down and I have some security behind me. So that is just going to, again, lower your stress, and that's going to lead you on a path to having the best day ever. And number 6, more family time, and that is probably the most important to me. It's not about doubling my income, and I'm not on some big search. I just want to go to work. I want to get up in the morning, do what I want to do in between, and go to bed happy too. And that's the biggest thing for me. And it might not be the biggest thing for everybody else, and that's fine. But that's what it is for me. And again, the word time is what we'll finish up on this. And finally, it's a challenge. To me, it's kind of become my hobby, which was a great thing because most of my other hobbies cost me money. And then I'll never forget, I was laying on my bed and I said, what if my hobby was to save money? And that just led me down because I like to look stuff up. I like to learn. It became my passion. It became my purpose. It's an awesome journey. It's an interesting journey to try to attempt financial independence. You got to learn a lot of things. Learn about your body, learn about your mind, you learn about your finances, all that stuff. It's not just about the financial independence. It's everything that goes along with it. Minimalism, philosophy, side hustles, reselling, and then you reap the benefits along with that too. It's an alternate path. Don't be conformed to the ways of this world. A lot of people are in debt. Car payments keep the middle class poor. You know, people driving around their $50,000 trucks and the houses that they're so far in debt on, and they get up every day and they hate their jobs, but they're making that kind of income. When if they had the guts and the humility and the courage to take a step back, to downsize, to wake up in order to wake up and live a life that makes them happy, that they're excited to get up with every single day, to make their relationship closer if your partner is on board. And then again, just more time. And time is what our greatest non-renewable resource. Money's out there, the time is not. We can never get it back. So I want to have more options of how I want to spend that time, what I want to do with it, and enjoy the time too. Not just have time and be miserable, but to also enjoy the time that I have. So we talked about overthinking. We talked about the benefits of financial independence, and there's so many of them. And it all can be what's the word I'm looking for? All can be started, the path can be started by our habits. And that's where I think the book Atomic Habits is such a game changer. And it's really not necessarily a financial book or a book on happiness or anything like that. It's just the habits are compounding interest of personal development. Like money compounds for finances, our habits compound for personal development. And I will now get into 5 takeaways from that book. So, briefly getting into it, number 1, grow 1% daily. We talk about that every day on this channel. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. 1% better every single day. At what? At saving, at working out, at your diet, anything else that you want to improve upon. It's the little changes. Number 2, goals versus systems. Goals are about results and systems are about the process. And it's the process that's getting us there. My goal could be to be debt-free. My goal could be to have six-pack abs. My goal could be to travel more. But it's going to be the process which gets us there. The process of side hustling, of saving money, of investing money if we want to pay down our debt and be financially free. It's the process of working out, of dieting, putting the time in to lose weight, to build muscle. It's the process of putting yourself in a good position where you can start to take some time off and have a little bit extra money to travel or whatever your interests are. To achieve that, we have to change our identity. It's a big thing. He talks about it in Atomic Habits. He talks about it in several other books. Identity, identity, identity. About changing your beliefs, changing your process, and changing your outcomes. The process is going to be your habit systems, and the outcomes are going to change your results. It's not what you want to achieve, but who you wish to become. I want to lose weight, but do I want to become the person that can do that? The person that goes to the gym on weekend mornings, the person who skips the donut, the person who goes out for a walk, the person who stretches while they watch TV or does cardio. Change the systems. Do I want to become a person who spends more than they earn? Or do I want to become the type of person who would never put themselves in that situation? For me, it's easy to say, I don't want to spend more than I earn. I would never go out right now and put money on a credit card and not pay it back. It wouldn't happen to me. But I would go in the other room and just destroy the kids' candy. And that's probably vice versa for some people. There's probably a lot of healthy, fit people out there with a six-pack abs and that can run 4 miles. They're just blasting their credit card after they get out of the gym. So it's about finding that balance. Who do you wish to become, not what you want to achieve. It's about the identity change. It talks about, number 4 takeaway, the habit loop. What is the habit loop? It's the cue, it's the craving, it's the response, and it's the reward. The cue is the trigger. I'm going to have a cig before work. The craving, the motivational force is, okay, I'm going to have this to relax me because I'm not going to be able to have any nicotine the next 5 or 6 hours while I'm waiting tables. The response is the action, the habit, and the reward is the goal, the reward that is chased. You're smoking that cig in the moment, you're getting that hit of nicotine, and you feel good for half a second, and that's if you're lucky. Towards the end when I was smoking, I didn't even feel good 90% of the time. It was just the addiction, the mindless addiction that just had me doing it. So fill that habit loop, identify it, and see what, okay, know those triggers, know what's before work, know what's motivating it. You wake up in the morning with your coffee, you go outside and you have a cig because you haven't had nicotine in a while, and you perform the act of smoking it and you get the reward, and you go back in and you smell like cigs and you just took some money off your life and you got to go buy another pack of cigarettes. So managing good habits, final takeaway, there's 4 things. Make your habits obvious. Make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. And then managing bad habits, make them invisible, make it unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. So as far as invisible goes, I mean, get the junk food out of the house, right? Unattractive, that's not who you want to be. You're not going to have as much confidence in yourself. Make it difficult. You got to go out and get something. You got to go out of your house to go through the drive-thru to get that fast food. Make it unsatisfying. You don't want it. But the good habits, make it obvious. Have your dumbbells out. Have your running shoes out, your walking shoes out. Have the good food around. Make it attractive. Make it easy. Make it satisfying. You'll feel proud about yourself. Implement those takeaways from Atomic Habits and more. I would definitely suggest checking out this book. And I hope you found some value in today's talk about overthinking, the benefits of financial freedom and financial independence, and some takeaways from the great personal development book, Atomic Habits. I'll talk to you on the next video. Break free.